I love me some promo videos, and after digging through some of my old stuff, I found I had this Transformers promo DVD buried since like 2006. This Transformers Optimus Prime vs. Megatron The Ultimate Battle DVD came in the 2-pack of Classics Optimus Prime and Megatron. You absolutely know that a DVD thrown in with some toys is going to be a mind-blowing experience.
Transformers Optimus Prime vs. Megatron The Ultimate Battle Optimus Prime and Megatron. The greatest Transformers of all time.
These figures are fine, but I'd hardly call these molds of Megatron and Prime the greatest of all time. Guess they just mean Prime and Mags in general, but that's also incorrect because Starscream. This 2-pack has seen a few different releases over the years, as it was also put out under the Universe toy line and the Generations one, but both of those omit the DVD. Also, I guess certain releases of the original classics might forget to give you the DVD as well, leaving an empty gap between the figures and a lying sticker. These figures are of course based on original G1 Optimus Prime and Megatron. Well, Megatron's based on G2 Tank Megatron because original G1 Megatron's gun mode was a no-no by this point. There were slightly larger versions of Prime and Megatron released in the Classics line at this point, and that Megatron was a gun, but of course he wasn't a realistic looking one at all. Overly optimistic me originally thought that maybe this DVD would contain some kind of one-off cartoon actually featuring G2 Tank Megatron vs. Prime. Of course, that's way more ambitious than what's actually on here. Everything about this DVD seems to go out of its way to not let you know what it's really about. Optimus Prime and Megatron are the ultimate enemies in a war millions of years old. Learn everything you need to know about the Transformers in this action-packed DVD. Oh yeah, man, I learned everything I know about Transformers from this Ultimate Battle DVD. Note to parents, this DVD is not a toy. I'm gonna play with it anyway. What are you gonna do about it, Transformers? Whether you are a new fan or you've been there since the beginning, this DVD is a must-have history of the battle between the Autobots and the Decepticons. Don't overhype this thing too much, guys. So, you'd think this would kind of go over the original G1 battles between Megatron and Prime, or some overview of all the Transformers continuities up to this point? At the very least, you'd think that this would have something to do with Transformers Generation 1, since those are the versions of the characters you just bought figures for and are featured on the DVD cover. Well, you'd be wrong.
Evil Decepticons have invaded the Earth. I have battled this menace throughout time and space.
Damn you, Primal Prime! The Ultimate Battle, this must-have DVD, is a clip show with Optimus Prime from Transformers Cybertron running us through the Unicron Trilogy shows. So, it's got clips from Transformers Armada, Transformers Energon, and Transformers Cybertron. Wow, that has absolutely jack shit to do with the figures I just bought. Thank you, Ultimate Battle! Honestly, every bit of this DVD is just extremely off. The main feature is about unrelated shows, the menu is a super pixelated version of the DVD cover artwork. Like, seriously, I don't know how they managed to get it to look that bad. And the special feature photo gallery of some of the classics figures is super finicky. It took me like 4 times of going into it for it to properly go through the pictures instead of just being stuck on that first screen. Anyway, our main feature uses a version of the Cybodon intro.
Now is the perfect time for us to take over the computer in order to control all of Cybodon!
Featuring the Dance Club remix of the Transformers theme.
Transformers, Autobots, Decepticons!
Transformers, time to do a rave! Transformers, what? This version of the Cybertron intro chops off the opening blurb said by Prime, which was more specific about the plot of Transformers Cybertron.
We must find the 4 Cyber Planet keys.
Also, the very end has been altered to use the Classics logo instead of the Transformers Cybertron one. The only real new thing done for this clip show is the new Optimus Prime dialogue by Gary Chalk talking directly to the audience, letting us know about the Unicron Trilogy. Sorta. And I have wonderful news for you all. The UK version of this DVD has been edited. Thanks to TF Raw, I'm able to compare my DVD next to the UK version. This is a kind of strange alteration going on here, as the UK isn't trying to censor anything for harshness or anything. They are just trying to censor the fact that Transformers Armada ever existed, as all clips from that series have been switched out.
As I said, Cybertron has been plagued by endless warfare. As I said, Cybertron has been plagued by endless warfare. When a group of Transformers decided to take over the planet and run things their way. When a group of Transformers decided to take over the planet and run things their way. We were few in number at first, but our ranks grew quickly.
A kind of funny one is them removing one of Hotshot's different bodies when Prime is talking about his team gaining different forms over the years.
Every time a Transformer rescans, they change form. And sometimes I have trouble recognizing even my own men, like Hotshot here. Every time a Transformer rescans, they change form. And sometimes I have trouble recognizing even my own men, like Hotshot here.
Remember Hotshot? The kind of weird fusion of Bumblebee and Hot Rod? The Unicron Trilogy shows were during that weird no Bumblebee period for Transformers.
I'm back, and now so are you.
Back! I'm better than ever! Look at this new paint job!
From now on, Bumblebee, you'll be known as Hotshot. Stop renaming me, Prime! They were apparently going to try and name Hotshot Bumblebee at first, but Hasbro couldn't get the trademark back for the name at that point, so we got Hotshot instead, who eventually went full Hot Rod when he got his new Powerlinks repaint later on. Also, his name was just Hot Rod in Japan, so that's your history of old Bumble Rod. Of course, they take away Prime's Armada forms when he's talking about all his different bodies as well, which kind of takes away from his point a bit. There is at least one spot where I thought the alternate clip illustrated the point a bit better.
A Transformer will usually scan a new form when they first arrive on a planet, so they can fit in with the local machines and not attract too much attention. A Transformer will usually scan a new form when they first arrive on a planet, so they can fit in with the local machines and not attract too much attention.
There's one super sloppy bit where they've changed the editing on Eclipse so it still shows a frame of the Transformers Energon logo. There's one bit where the UK just kept Megatron's Armada dialogue but put it over other footage.
You dare to threaten me, Optimus Prime? I welcome your wrath. You dare to threaten me, Optimus Prime? I welcome your wrath, because it pales in comparison to what I have in store for you. Because it pales in comparison to what I have in store for you.
There was a time when Megatron actually seemed to care about the Decepticons under his command.
Care Bear's Megatron clips have been changed out to clips from later on, which kind of damages Prime's statement that Megatron stopped caring later. I mean, look, Megatron cares so much about his fellow Decepticons that he'll even argue with himself about it.
Tell me, where are my men? They're mine, and I'm going to consume them. No, you're not. You better tell me where they're hiding.
I'm not listening, Energon!
We use a lot of amazing technology to help us succeed in our mission.
This tech is so amazing, I'm gonna smash the shit out of it. By the way, this is another UK ep that's almost too stupid to believe it's real. Prime's button abuse was apparently too much for the UK. This is seriously the only edit on here that isn't just removing Armada footage, so apparently punching buttons is something too extreme across the pond. There's a bit where Prime blabs on about the minicons, much like he did in Armada way too often, and a lot of this is replaced with stuff about cyber keys from the Cybertron series.
Minicons are small helper robots.
Cyber key power!
They do keep some of Prime's blurb about minicons over alternate footage, even though minicons were mostly a thing for the Armada series.
Minicons are small helper robots with big power.
I guess minicons were still sort of a thing later, but they aren't used for the same power-up purpose they were in Armada, and now they talk instead of just making R2-D2-like beeps.
Huh? You know how Vector Prime goes through dimension gates? Well, he's been teaching us to do it too. Of course, minicons can only go through mini dimension gates, but that was enough to get you back.
I don't know what the hell's going on with the minicons, and I don't really care. I just really never need to hear Prime give a boring speech about minicons ever again.
Whether it's backing each other up on the battlefield, let's move out. Yes, sir.
So, why did the UK hate Armada? I don't know. Maybe they watched it. Really, the best guess I have for why the Armada series got the axe was just some weird decision because it was a 2D animated show versus the other two being 3D. Of course, this is extra pointless if the point was to keep the animation style featured consistent, because it's not consistent within those series as they have 2D animated humans along with the 3D Transformers. And that clash is a whole hell of a lot more than just cutting to clips from the differently animated shows. The 2D humans just don't look like they belong in the same show as the 3D Transformers. This just does not look that good to me. It reminds me of Mortal Kombat: The Journey Begins.
Cybertron was once a beautiful sunlit world.
But then Beachcomber happened.
We won.
If we don't stop the Decepticons here and now, the Earth will be destroyed.
Didn't you already stop them? I mean, this DVD came out after the Unicron Trilogy shows had ended. If this is happening in the past during their battle, I guess Prime should get to work killing the Decepticons instead of stopping to tell us about it. Also, I just personally hate Optimus Prime having a mouth. Put a faceplate over that. Try to look decent, man.
Though our bodies are made of durabilium steel.
Durabilium? Is that better than Cybertonium? Wait, is Cybertonium even good?
Oh, shut up, Shockwave.
Call me Shock Blast!
No!
We share the same thoughts, feelings, hopes, and dreams that most human beings do.
Hey, Lori, but aren't either of you afraid of me?
Huh?
Yes, we all have the same desire to be feared.
Transformers come in countless different shapes and sizes.
The big ones cost more money. You should buy them.
Some turn into cars.
And some have bad transformations where their head is blatantly out in the open in vehicle mode.
And on some planets, Transformers take the form of wild animals or even dinosaurs.
You might remember dinosaurs from a somehow more appealing looking 3D animated show from 10 years earlier than this DVD.
Jetfire has been to our new home and brought back scan data of typical vehicles. This one's called a fire engine.
Everyone, scan the vehicle that already sort of looks like you. Makes things easier. You guys in the back get nothing though. You're all a bunch of nameless clones and I hate you. Just stand there and watch us transform.
Of course, I've had quite a few different looks over the years myself.
When I combine with my trailer in Armada, I turn into Wheeljack Prime.
After a mighty struggle, we regain control of Cybertron.
They were just standing there waiting to get shot. That wasn't a mighty struggle at all, Prime.
Fire, Decepticons! Destroy!
I seriously thought the video had just frozen here, but nope! That's really how it's supposed to be. After being awkwardly frozen for a while, they start shooting and you just go, wow. Really? Honestly, I find the Beast Wars animation has more life to it than the 3D stuff in the Unicron Trilogy because it seems very stiff and lifeless.
Don't just stand there!
But standing perfectly still in the air is what we're best at.
And just look at the Autobots trying to run away on a treadmill, apparently. I need to escape! I'm not getting very far!
Give it up, Shock Blast!
Yeah, he's Shock Blast at this point because they couldn't regain the rights to the name Shockwave. I guess at least he wasn't Shockwave. Shockwave couldn't appear during this time anyway because he had his hand full with ponies.
Oh, come on! Friendship is bullshit! Except with Megatron! Megatron, are you there?
No.
I meant real Megatron, not you!
Optimus, sir!
Oh, shut up, little boy Ironhide.
Well, it looks like we meet again, Optimus Prime.
Megatron!
You look a lot like Galvatron, but you've got the toy Galvatron colors. When you purple repaint yourself like the original cartoon version, then you'll truly be a Galvatron.
I certainly hope you don't mind if I step in. Cybertron is ripe with energon and perfect for reviving Unicron.
As a matter of fact, it isn't.
I've had enough of this mindless game!
I've had enough of this mindless alt mode. I mean, really now, what are we looking at here?
Megatron has already arrived on Earth. I won't rest until I see him destroyed once and for all.
Peace through tyranny, right, Prime? Seriously, that seems pretty energon-lusty of Prime now, doesn't it?
Such heroic nonsense.
Though, I mean, I get it. I look at Antler Megatron for very long and all I can think about is destroying him.
Even though Starscream was a traitor, he never lost sight of his oath to the Decepticons.
He betrayed me, but you really gotta hand it to that guy. Love you, Starscream.
He's gonna blow!
There's something really bizarre about seeing the stiff 3D animation trying to do exaggerated anime stuff like this.
When we discovered that this racing trophy might be the key to saving many worlds, my team risked their lives to win it fair and square.
There's gotta be better storylines to recap than trying to win a racing trophy, Prime. You would think part of the point of this DVD would be to try and interest you in watching the Unicron Trilogy, but this really does not do a great job at that. And a lot of the clips shown are not easy to follow without enough context, and Prime's narration doesn't set things up enough to give you that.
But fair isn't in Megatron's vocabulary.
But at least I now know Megatron isn't fair.
Over. Give it a second.
Oh no, we dropped the Planet Cup!
I, Starscream, am now the winner of the race!
You will pay for this.
I give up because I lost the cup, yes.
Oh look, it's the three bozo humans that wouldn't shut the hell up and were one of the reasons I stopped watching Armada back in the day.
Alright! Hi, my name's Rad, and I want to tell you about the Transformers, mechanical beings from another world.
Sorry, guys. I've got a math test, and I told my mom I'd come straight home. So for the last time, the answer's no!
Whoa.
The tools we use the most in our struggle against evil
are humans. You are tools.
When that power is augmented by an ancient power source like a cyber key or a minicon, those energy readings go off the scale. Cyber keys contain a tiny portion of the power at the core of Cybertron itself.
And that's more of an explanation than you'll ever get for what the minicons are.
The minicons are small weirdos and stick on us, which somehow powers us up. Also, half of them are named Leader 1.
And it's my old minicon, Leader 1. Leader 1, Power Link, attack!
Thank you for your help, Leader 1. I could not have beat them without you.
Optimus even found his long-lost partner, Minicon. He calls him Leader 1. Oh man, I can't believe how much that puny Minicon jacked up his power. Yeah, no kidding.
Don't you get it?
This show's about us, not the Transformers. Let's go play basketball.
I'm open! Here, Alexis!
It's mine! My very own Minicon! I will call you Swindle!
Is that because Starscream made the Combaticons in G1, which Swindle was a part of? That's probably giving it too much thought. Oh well, at least Starscream didn't name him Leader 1. And when a little race car hops on Starscream's back, it lets him blow up a bunch of the forest.
Behold the now laser cannon!
So Starscream had those giant null laser cannons on him, but he just couldn't use them without Minicon assistance. So Minicons are kind of like Transformers Viagra.
Some of the most powerful weapons in the universe are swords.
Thanks, Prime, for telling us that swords exist. This seems like a good use of time instead of telling us anything meaningful about any of these series. But since Michael Dobson, who is Next Mutation Leonardo, voiced Starscream in the Unicron Trilogy shows, let's hear what his favorite sword is.
The katana, of course!
And hey, look, there's weird Thundercracker Starscream.
It looked like Thundercracker.
Thundercracker isn't in the Armada show, so I guess Starscream's been chatting to other Transformers continuities to know who that is. Thundercracker was eventually in the Unicron Trilogy, but it wasn't until the Cybertron cartoon. Anyway, back to swords.
We must defeat the Decepticons by any means necessary.
This may be 3D animation, but we're still going to be very anime about it. And now for the ultimate battle! Hotshot and the Star Saber versus Megatron's crotch cannon.
All you have to do is give me the Star Saber.
Access denied!
Whoa, you know it's serious when he gets all retro on him like that.
No! My antler, the source of all my power.
I guess this should be Hotshot versus Megatron, the ultimate antler.
We Autobots believe that any weapon becomes more powerful when it's used in the cause of justice.
But we are just robots, and we believe any silly thing programmed into us.
There's one weapon in the Autobot arsenal the Decepticons don't have. Teamwork.
Prime, the Decepticons do work together sometimes. You need to come up with some real strategies.
The Decepticons can't beat the Autobots when we have friendship.
Or literally joining our power together to fight as one.
Yes, combiners. Truly an Autobot exclusive right there.
Well, it looks like we made it back safe and sound.
Feels good. Teamwork!
These were their last words before dying. Till all are one.
Vector Prime, I need you to create another warp gate across the one I came through. Understood.
Megatron's dimension is folding in on itself like a snake eating its own tail.
Yeah, don't set this up at all, Prime. I understand perfectly the nonsense you're throwing me into the middle of.
By Primus!
Yeah, take that, Megatron. Maybe.
You'll never be rid of me, Optimus Prime.
Well, guess we're rid of him.
Yeah, let's celebrate by being perfectly still. Well, that's not for us. We're gonna lazy animation loop for a bit. What a great victory.
I can't even look at those guys.
Each time I think we've beaten Megatron, he returns more corrupt and horrible.
But he's not going to this time because the Unicron Trilogy is over.
I have faith in my team.
Let us help you. Yeah, and we'll do anything you want.
What do you say?
Go to hell.
Autobots, transform and roll out. Transform!
Oops, probably shouldn't have brought those humans into space.
Well, after watching that, I never want to see any of the Unicron Trilogy shows or these figures ever again. I think it's done its job well.
I don't like this movie, doesn't too friendly. This bootleg is so fake, that toy is gonna break. Famous don't let me down, you need to be around. Grab that chocolate pizza, I even like it cause I want. Famous so famous, bring on more comedy. Famous so famous, an animation movie. Famous so famous, what really is so fun. Famous so famous, what's your opinion about?
Where the hell were we on that DVD, Prime? Shut up. What the hell?